Hello and welcome to the Ethereal Pathways podcast. I'm your host, Jasmine. I'm continuing my series this week with on the mini series on the chakra system, and we're on the sixth chakra today, and that's the third eye chakra, the pineal gland, basically in the middle of your brain, like directly back back behind your eyes and between your eyes, I think is what they say it is. So I did a little bit of research on this one because this one is one that I really wanted to know a little bit more about. But this one, and I'm just going to read some things that I've learned about this. The Sanskrit name, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, I'm going to try, is Ajna, I think is how you say it, which translates to perceive or to go beyond wisdom. It's in the center of the forehead, slightly above the eyebrows. Okay. And it's linked biologically to the pineal gland. The color associated with this chakra is indigo or violet, one of my favorite colors. Element that's associated with this chakra is light. Symbol is a two-petaled lotus with a downward pointing triangle and the seed syllable. Core function governs inner vision, intuition, gut feelings that you get, and the ability to see truth beyond physical senses or illusions. It balances the analytical left brain and the creative right brain. So that's pretty interesting. So balance versus imbalance. I'm going to read from this, and then I'm going to read from another website because I think this is more of an AI driven response. But I wanted to read from this other website because I think it goes a little bit more into, different things about it. This quick version says, when the third eye chakra is balanced, a person experiences clarity, focus, strong intuition, and a connection to a deeper purpose. Imbalanced, blocked, or overactive third eye chakras can lead to confusion, disconnection from inner wisdom, excessive skepticism, overanalyzing, or a feeling of being lost and without purpose. I've definitely felt like that a lot of times in my life. Ways that this thing says that, ways of cultivating and balancing the chakra. Again, you can do different yoga poses, meditation, and concentrating on the spot between the eyebrows and your brain. Visualization and dream work. This is interesting. Engaging the imagination and paying attention to the internal screen of dreams and memory. Trusting your intuition, acknowledging and acting on gut feelings and rather than dismissing them. Nature and sunlight. So they're saying that sunlight, spending time in nature and sunbathing in a way can help clear it and activate it. It's more of a traditional method of doing that. And when I went to this other website, it's very interesting. Interesting. It's called Siddhi Yoga. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Siddhi Yoga website. They have a little bit more information expanded on this one. So it actually, excuse me, I said the sixth, but it's the seventh. Sorry, it's the seventh chakra in the system, located between the eyebrows, the center of our head. Okay, so we know that part. Third eye chakra is responsible for our intuition, consciousness, and awareness. The seat of consciousness is what it's also known as. So here's some other third eye chakra block symptoms. It says a blocked third eye chakra will demonstrate itself in a weak sense of self and a lack of intuition and insecurity of your truth, your personal truth. That's very interesting. I like that it goes into more detail on this page. To know if you're dealing with a blocked third eye chakra, go through the questions listed below. Am I secure and confident in my decisions? Am I observant and conscious of my surroundings? Am I listening to the signs my body and emotions are sending me? Do I think in a clear and open-minded way? Is it easy for me to accept change? Do I often see the bigger picture? Can I sense and feel what I want or need during the day? Does it feel like everything comes to me easily and calmly? If you've answered no to majority of the above questions, you might be dealing with a blocked chakra. That's basically what it says here. So that's interesting. I've definitely dealt with all of those. The third eye chakra is imbalance can show itself as underactive or hyperactive energy. In both cases, we will be dealing with difficulties in functioning every day for different reasons. An underactive or blocked chakra, third eye chakra, will show up with a lack of openness to growth and change and a lack of intuition and self-understanding. Interesting. So it's got like a little meme here. I don't want to call it a meme, but it's like a little a visual, like a media with balanced and unbalanced list here. So it says balance, enhanced intuition, clear perception, heightened awareness, expanded imagination, spiritual connection, and inner wisdom. Unbalanced, weak sense of intuition, unclear vision, feeling confused, closed-minded attitude, feeling powerless, lack of security in your own decision making. It says healing tips for blocked third eye chakra: invite change and an open-minded attitude. Practice being honest with yourself and with others. Become more grounded. That, obviously grounded, there's many different ways you can do that. Increase your sunlight exposure. Add healthy foods into your diet. Practice chanting and meditation. It says the general symptoms of a blocked, that's basically everything I just read there. An imbalance, emotional symptoms. So they've got general symptoms. Oh, this is interesting. So this is different. So the general symptoms of a blocked third eye chakra include lack of security in decision making, weak sense of intuition, difficulties in knowing what you want and feel. Interesting. Not learning from your mistakes. A closed-minded attitude, lack of openness to change and questioning. Emotional symptoms of an imbalanced third eye chakra include feeling confused, mixed feelings, fear and doubt of one's purpose, feeling insecure, feeling powerless, always putting yourself last and putting others first, not noticing or not acknowledging your emotions. So physical symptoms of a blocked third eye chakra include migraines, clogged nose and sinus, unclear vision, sleep difficulties, nightmares, weak sense of physical balance. Wow. How to open the third eye chakra. It says it should be taken seriously and not jumped into without grounding first and connecting to the other 6 chakras. It is said that no chakra is dominant over the other, but they are interconnected. So it's important to treat the system as a whole. When opening the chakra, prepare a steady physical and emotional balance with regular self-care and self-awareness practices such as, it says, hatha yoga, grounding, embodiment, emotional awareness, and meditation. It's crucial. If you decide to focus on the 7th chakra more intensely without such preparations, you might struggle with maintaining your physical and mental health in a secure and stable place. Interesting. So tips for healing it. Invite change in an open-minded attitude. Okay, we read these earlier. Practice being honest with yourself and others. Become more grounded. Increase your sunlight exposure. Add certain foods in the diet. And it does go into certain foods that you can add to your diet, which is interesting. I'm going to read these. Incorporating more of the foods listed below to try to heal it. Dates, blueberries, blackberries, figs, lentils, purple cabbage, chia seeds, and prunes. So purple sounds like a lot of violet kind of fruits, vegetables, well, mostly fruits that, they're saying to they eat, ingest. All right. And then it's got meditation, symptoms of overactive third eye chakra. Mental symptoms of a hyperactive third eye chakra include feeling overwhelmed. This is something I've been dealing with a lot. So, wow, I think I really did need to read this stuff in more detail. Because I've been going through bouts of this off and on. I think we all do. We go through different cycles in our lives, and we have different blockages that come up from time to time to clear. And here lately, I've been dealing with some things in my own personal life that have kept me confused and not knowing and things like that. And that I've been guided to get out in the sun more and connect with nature more whenever I feel that way. And that's strange. That's really not strange, but it's really cool that I've been intuitively guided to do that. And they're listing that as ways to help clear it or heal it. So I like that. At least I know I'm on the right track. I'm being guided right. Feeling overwhelmed, mind fog, and difficulty thinking clearly, anxiety, thoughts away from your individual self, hallucinations, derealization, panic attacks, depression, insomnia, delusions, lacking meaning and structure in life. That's a big one for a lot of people. I think right now too, with everything that's going on in the world right now and the economy as a whole, I just think that that's a big one for a lot of people going through that right now. Often shifting and changing identity, constantly observing and judging the surroundings. Physical symptoms of a hyperactive third eye chakra include headaches and migraines, problems with eyesight, dizziness and nausea, sinus issues, allergies, poor appetite, or overeating. It's pretty interesting. I didn't even know a lot of these things were connected to the third eye chakra. And I could see where I have been myself dealing with some of these issues over the years, off and on, especially more or less, just like sometimes more times than other times. So, definitely I could see there's cycles and stuff that I'm going through to clear it. It just says, for a start, it's good to begin a regular self-grounding exercising. Bottom line, the chakra system is strongly linked and will constantly influence how we see ourselves, the world around us, and life itself. The third eye chakra is a very important and powerful energy vortex that helps you gain clear and truthful thinking and a sense of intuitive knowledge, which will lead you through life without fear. Balancing and healing the chakra will be strongly connected to the other parts of the chakra system, and we highly recommend learning more about it when starting this journey. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. And it looks like they've got some more information on it. If you wanted to go to that website and check it out, it says if you would like to gain access to a well-prepared and structured teaching of the entire chakra system, we invite you to join our online course on Understanding Chakra. So that's interesting. So I think I've definitely been going through a lot of this myself, just, putting my little 2 cents with this as I usually do. That's why I do this. Here lately, especially like even today and yesterday, this really last month. Oops, I bumped my mic. Sorry. Especially this last month, I've really been dealing with a lot of confusion, emotional confusion, mental, confusion, anxiety. There's been a lot of changes in my personal life, both with my day job. Some major changes happening there, which created more stress in my life. As well as in my personal life with, my relationships with people that are the closest to me, have been in upheaval. And so I've been questioning a lot, like, what is this? What's going on? I felt anxiety. I had a slight depression, just a quick bout of it, like for like a day. Just felt lost and, seeing how I was guided to go outside and I wasn't doing that. I work from home a lot now, all but one day a week. Sometimes I get out more than that if I need to run specific errands for them, but it's usually just one day a week. And then, I've just been guided. I try to do that anyway. I try to go walking on, one or both of my breaks outside in the sunlight. And it's been raining this whole last week, mostly. And I haven't been able to do that. And so I was guided to go out yesterday and in the midst of all this. And I mean, yes, it's a little bit cold. It's like in the mid 50s here during the day. And I was just guided to, I went out there with my little, house coat, my backyard, fenced in backyard, and just felt guided to ground myself, my bare feet in the grass. And yes, it was lightly drizzling. It wasn't pouring rain. But I got out there in the wet grass, cold, wet grass, and I just sat there and meditated for about 10 minutes until I felt a lot more grounded, a lot more calm, and how, that is really neat how it says that that's one of the ways that you help, clear it and ground it. And that's what I was guided to do. And I also took a hot Epsom salt bath right after that and meditated for about an hour. So that really helped me as well. So it's been a lot going on, and I know it's not just me. It's a lot of people going through a lot right now, in their personal life and in the world right now with all these shifts and these changes energetically and spiritually that are going on. It's causing a lot of upheaval. It's causing a lot of uncertainty. It's causing people to have anxiety because of that. And we need to be more grounded through these changes. And, this is a good way of doing that, connecting with the earth, barefoot, or touching the earth in some way, like go touch a tree or whatever, ground yourself in some way. And you can also do that if you can't make it outside, through, saltwater baths, connecting with water, and meditation and things like that. So I think that that's really important, but connecting with nature is a big one for me. That's something I've always been, since the time I can remember. I've always felt very pulled to be out in nature and, touching and climbing trees and interacting with the animals and the plants and things. It's something I was really guided, and I connected a lot with nature, spirits, and things like that. So I feel like, that's a good place to start for a lot of people. But yeah, I've just to see where I've been going through a lot of this, and I didn't realize that this third eye chakra, was a big thing that I'm going through right now. Obviously a lot of those mental symptoms, I haven't been going through a lot of them, just a few of them, 2 or 3 of them, like the mind fog, difficulty thinking at times, feeling overwhelmed was a big one I've been going through lately, anxiety, just like, it's just really interesting to see how it's not just me though. I've had other people tell me, even today and recently, the last few days, how they're kind of going through the same thing. We're all collectively going through it, as well as individually, and just we're all connected. So that's why it happens. And I'm sure you'll look at your life and see that in some way, in some way, you're kind of going through the same thing. So anyway, I just kind of want to add my little 2 cents with that. I'm going to be, obviously working on some more of this, clearing this and grounding, and healing it, incorporating some of these fruits and vegetables, well, mostly fruits, but cabbage is kind of a vegetable. So I incorporate a lot more of those things in my diet. That's interesting. And so I like that we learned about this together. But if you want to add anything to this, if you have any more information you feel like guided to add, please feel free to, comment. If you want to support my podcast, I greatly appreciate it. You can like, comment, and you can subscribe, and even hit the share button. You don't have to share it, but I think if you hit the share button, it, hits the algorithm. So it'll show up in front of more people and it'll help them. So I hope this helps some people out there. I'd love to hear your stories. If you feel like, if you're going through the same thing or similar, please feel free to share, or you can email me privately if you don't want to share publicly on, this video. I'd love to hear from you. So thank you so much. My email should be listed in the description box, by the way. Thank you so much, and I hope you join me for the next and last chakra series, episode of the series, which will be next week, and that'll be the crown chakra. All right, I hope this leaves you in a great place. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, whenever you're watching this, and I'll leave you in love and light. Thank you.